For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open, the eyes of truth right. The lips of truth are ever closed, the head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward, the gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt, truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching, the voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple, all you sow you reap. The truth is flaming, the heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street and there's nobody anywhere what to do and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
We focus on the broadcast today on the word, this banded, and we focus on the K9 unit, and we hear from the island's Prime Minister, and there was a recent death, which I was not aware of, came as a shock to me. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Of course, we'll be hearing from you during the course of the program at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda standing by to go through some of your comments in the chat. And she'll be providing you with a couple of updates. It's very important from time to time to hear from the young people of this country when we are talking about things that involve them to a large extent and the things that they are party to. So when we talk about the serious crime problem on the island, very often, as you've heard on this broadcast, the victims are young people, youth. And in particular, when talking about homicides, we're talking about males. They are more likely to be shot and killed than a young female. On the other hand, the perpetrators are also more likely to be young males. So when you hear a young male is telling you that there's more to this violence that is taking place on our streets, and you did not adopt a piecemeal approach and come up with quick fixes towards resolving that problem. A lot of them are long-standing and lingering and with more than just a few interventions, such as a football competition or cricket competition for it to be lasting peace. I came across this video of this young male born in St. Lucia, but he says he has been living overseas over the last 12 years. And no doubt he would have heard about the Bloody Saturday incidents. 2 young males in their mid-20s shot and killed, and a number of other people, including children, being shot and injured. So let's listen to him, what he has to say to all of us, including the authorities, those who are charged with the responsibility to come up with the various solutions to that massive problem that has plagued us for far too long.
Create opportunities for the youths. You check me, the youth see like you check it's not gang well who nice youth. Because when certain men feel trapped, you check it, they have no other choice. It's what you check what you want fellas to do. And especially when you're from the ghetto, me say it's not the same from somebody that living on the hills, his mother have money and think that we need to put him in a good house and different vibe. It's not the same feeling, you know. You check it, most of you all there playing how much thing, but you grew up in a good house. Yeah, you'll have cable at your home, you'll have food to eat, you'll have internet, you'll have this, you'll have that, you'll have how many. You check it. It's what about those that only have one shoe? What about those that don't have, you check it, no cable, nothing, they have to go and you check cool by his partner home to watch a little TV or get a little internet. You check what about those that have no money? You check it, have to go and do moves for people, all kind of thing, and do how much thing. What about those that have nothing? You check it, living in a shack house where you have to be blocking holes and you check it, rain falling, you getting wet, you have to light candles. You check why showing you have to be taking credit in shop, all kind of thing. What about those guys? You're like worried about those, huh? You check it. We say the only way that go stop, boy. Create opportunities for the youths, man. That's the only way Lucia go calm down as. You check it? Yeah, man. It have 12 years I come back, Lucia, yet, you know. You check, not because I'm afraid, because man, yes. You check, but I'm not stupid. You check, I say you that is think, man. I don't know when I come back, Lucia, it's 3 options I will be here, hospital, cemetery, or jail, man. Because I Iron Man, you know. You check, I don't know Iron Man, everybody dying the same way, but I don't want to let just people just kill me just so I will kill too. You check it, but Jah bless me in a way where I could have leave, man, and try and build opportunities and find different vibe for myself. You check, I would have well liked to be able to help Lucia and help the youths and different things. You check it, but I don't have money to do it for myself yet. You over there, you check it, because it's easy nowhere and different vibe, and you check, you don't know how it is already, is the hustle and try and take care of different vibes. But me see, you check, what about those that have all the money? You check the bad boys in the hood there that are how much cool. You check it, like all kind of thing, how much money making your funds, all kind of thing, yeah. You check why you like put up money to try and you check it, push one of the artists in the youth there. Cause I show in every ghetto, Lucia, they have a man that can sing. I said that can you check it. Usual money, I say how much money, using money, I say you check it, invest in one of the little fellas. You check it, make the fellas open a doorway, I say so the other youths can you check it, surf off the wave and make a money and change the vibe, I say. Check it, change my mindset, yeah, make man see yeah, money we chasing, I say. You check it, because over there is not money, fellas chasing money, fellas chasing cloud, fellas chasing name, fellas chasing, you check it, the wrong vibe. Yeah, because I say all man want to be the sickest man in the block, I say, you know how it is. You check, don't play like you like no, I say, all man want to be the sickest man in the block. You check, back in the days, gun wasn't easy to get, but now, I say, you check, Lucia flooded with guns, yeah, I say, fellas have all kind of matics, so you feel like, huh? You check, what you feel like go happen here, you're not seeing it, you have to treat it from the roots, man. You check it, I telling you, you check, it ain't making no sense, come and say, this and that, it ain't making no sense, do that, yeah, say, you check it, do the things the right way. You see it? You check, the government have the fundings, can find a way to do something for the youths and create opportunity. You're not coming for football, safe space, football. Can you feel everybody want to play football, man? You check it? Nah, man, there are many different talents out there. I say, Lucia full of talent, man. You check it? Lucia full of talent, yeah. It's not just football thing. They're not creating no opportunities. You check that is making fellas cool out for a little while, get a little amusement. But after a while, that's getting boring. You check that getting boring, yeah. Fellas want more again. So what you feel like what happened? It's sparking back again. You check, once you vibe all how it's spark back, it getting worse than what it was before. It's back. You let's see. You check now there, you'll see, yeah, boy. You check 2 bodies dropping one day, Lucian. You check innocent people getting hit, all kind of thing in the road now. You check everybody saying a shockwave, Lucia, shockwave. But then after that, you check it, you go try and do one, two little thing, make it calm down for a little while. But when it's back again, go get more deadly.
Young male, a St. Lucian who's living overseas. He's been living over the last 12 years. And he's giving us his take regarding life in St. Lucia from the perspective of young people. They want to aspire, they want to achieve, to attain certain things, achieve certain goals, but according to him, that can prove insurmountable at times. And he wants the bottlenecks to be cleared. So we hope that the authorities are listening. Not on every occasion, you need not hear from a so-called consultant and some policy maker and some minister with some fancy portfolio. We need to hear from young people who are directly affected. So we hope this will not be falling on deaf ears. The Prime Minister of St. Lucia, speaking yesterday during the pre-cabinet press briefing on a range of issues, but in particular on crime in the aftermath of that bloody Saturday, spoke on, for example, the K9 unit. And to my amazement, when a question was posed to him by DBS's Lisa Joseph, he doubted that there was ever a disbandment of the K9 unit. And he did not want Lisa to use the word disband. Let us listen to that exchange between Lisa Joseph and the Prime Minister and National Security Minister, Mr. Philip G. Pierre.
There is widespread public belief that the disbandment of the K9 unit, once you assumed office, would have allowed an unchecked flow of illegal firearms onto the streets.
What do you mean by that?
Do you believe this is a fair criticism?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Shouldn't interrupt. Sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I didn't hear the end of the question. My
do you
apologies.
believe this is a fair criticism?
I don't know about disbanding K9. I don't know about it. I don't know who disbanded any K9. I don't know. If somebody can tell me that there been any policy to disband the K9 unit. Disband means it was there and you extracted it. That's what disband means. That's what it means. Use the words carefully. Disband the K9 unit means that there was a K9 unit and we send the K9s away. Hey, hi, what are you doing? Were you back in the press? You made a transition? Yeah. Sorry about Lisa. I just saw him. I didn't make him out. Sorry about that. Although I know y'all don't want me to have a joke. Y'all want me to come and be saying, I don't know what you want this country. No. I mean, y'all are my friends, and all of us talking about developing St. Lucia. We may have different ways of going in it, but I know everyone likes St. Lucia, and I like St. Lucia. So when you put this kind of thing, you always want me to be annoyed and quarrel and vexed and me fashy. I just thought I would say hello to him. Yeah. Now the K9 unit, when you say you disbanded, as if a K9 unit was there and we send the dogs away, we send the dogs. That's not true.
Can you apprise us of what the situation was?
What I know is that when we came into government, we asked the French for K9, and to tell you the truth, I do not know the chronology of events, so I rather don't say it. I will ask the people who know to see. But I'm not sure the chronology. What I know is nobody ever disbanded any K9 unit. That's what I know for a fact. I also know that because of the untimely passing of Tyson, we have written and we are very close to making a statement of getting another K9 unit done. But there's one K9 unit here that is working. There's one here that's working.
So, Prime Minister, am I understanding you correct?
Mm-hmm.
There were no K9s working with the police once you assumed
Let
office?
me ask that question for the Commissioner of Police. Ask him. I don't want to say what I don't know. What I know is there was never any disbanding any unit. That's what I know for sure. But I don't know what was there when I came in 21. Ask the police, they'll tell you. I don't know. What I know,
Dr. Ernest Hilaire,
what I know is that there was never any disbanding. This is the word I use carefully. Band.
Then in that case, contract or contracts for canines working with the police were not renewed? Is that a question that you can answer?
What I can answer is that the Deputy Prime Minister made a statement about costs. He made a statement about costs of the canines. He did make a statement about costs. He did so.
So there were canines.
What I know, my God, how can I make that? This is not a trick question thing, you know. We're not trying.
I'm just trying to understand.
We're not trying to trick each other for us to
No,
use
sir,
at
no.
a later date.
I'm just
All
trying
I'm saying
to
to you
understand
is
here.
that okay. Let's end. No canine was disbanded under my jurisdiction. None.
So you heard the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Minister with responsibility for national security, haggling over whether the canine unit was disbanded or not. And you have been following this development over the last few years when the SLP came into office. You know that canine was disbanded. And the word disband, break up or cause to break up and stop functioning. The canine unit, when the SLP came into office in 2021, consisted of 3 dogs and 5 handlers. And the government was paying a private interest $40,000 a month to conduct the canine unit. The government, when the SLP administration got into office, decided this was too much. And so what happened? It disbanded the canine unit. It was not a case where the dogs were sent away and then there were replacements. So we did not have a canine unit in operation for well over a year. And if it does not exist, then, Mr. Prime Minister, it was disbanded. It was not even existing in name. If you were to say that canine unit, it would be a lie. We did not have a canine unit. One did not exist, period. And therefore, let's agree. Let's not haggle over this issue. There isn't any kind of confusion. The unit was disbanded. To the extent that the handlers told they were foreign nationals, they went back to their respective countries. The 3 dogs, they were sent over to Jamaica. And the Royal St. Lucia Police Force operated without a canine unit. That's why we can conclude that the canine unit was disbanded. Not until the French donated Tyson to us. Then we could have claimed that we had a unit consisting of 1 dog. Recently, another dog was donated to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. We had 2 dogs, a canine unit consisting of 2 dogs. Tyson lost its life in very suspicious circumstances. Now we are down to 1. And we are hearing from the Prime Minister that they have written to the French authorities again asking for another dog. Now, I'm sure that many of you can recall that statements were made about the need for the canine unit, initial canine unit, which consisted of 3 dogs. Statements were made by then Police Commissioner Mr. Milton Daisy and the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, as well as Minister Philip J. Pierre. But we have a clip consisting of comments on this whole canine issue being made by Mr. Milton Daisy and Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre.
Actually, they attended 47 operations with 63% success. And that success included firearms and drugs and also cash. We had over $40,000 in just 1 operation being recovered by the unit. We also had 9 firearms recovered by the unit, and also an amount of drugs being recovered in that. So at that time, the K9 unit, putting out the cost of it, the K9 unit is one of the, I would say, tools needed, especially now with everything that's going on, to have in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Actually, the K9s we had were able to detect large sums of cash, drugs, and firearms.
The agreement for the dogs is correct. The Deputy Prime Minister says it's correct. It's $40,000 a month. The agreement was sent to us, but we have to be prudent. We've not signed it. We haven't said we will not sign it. It's under consideration. And that's a fact. It's a very simple situation.
So eventually, the government of St. Lucia decided not to renew the contract so that the K9 could have continued to operate. So therefore, let us all again concur that as a result of this, if you do not renew the contract for the K9 unit to continue to operate, what you did was to disband the unit. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. So the House of Assembly is currently meeting, and there was a protest that took place earlier today and consisted of several people. What they were protesting, according to them, is the ill treatment of 2 women in particular. But what they are claiming is that it has happened, on a sustained basis over the last few years by government minister and talk show host Richard Frederick. But what they sought to highlight in particular today, treatment meted out to opposition candidate of the United Workers' Party, Marcella Johnson, and in particular journalist Lisa Joseph. Let us, in a moment, somebody was trying to speak with Mr. Richard Frederick. There was some kind of strange exchange between that individual and the minister. But first, let us hear Laura Jean-Pierre, among others.
So today we are gathered here silently supporting the treatment of women in St. Lucia by the sitting representative of Castro Central, Richard Frederick. We are tired as women of the wicked tirades and abuse and vilification of our women. And St. Lucia have decided to bring color front of them to protest and say enough. We have had enough. We have with us some of the women who have been abused verbally. Frederick, and they are here to send a message that when you attack me, you attack all of us. We who are the middle of our society, and we will not stand for it any longer. Enough. We are tired of silently licensing perversion. We cannot take it anymore. When you attack one of us, you attack all of us. We are every woman.
We would also say to the Prime Minister that he is facilitating this, he's supporting it, he's enabling it, he's endorsing it, because he has not done anything. He's an accomplice, and he is as guilty as the perpetrator.
And I would also like to add that the women sitting in the council are also from. They need to protest against that kind of repugnant behavior. The outgoing MP for Castro Central. We will stop enough. Today is a day of a movement. We will not stop until that be in this land.
And we are so happy that we have decided to stand in solidarity. This one man and the men and women of the St. Lucia Labour Party government does not represent men of St. Lucia. And the men of St. Lucia are saying, we see you, daughters of St. Lucia.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
You heard there from Laura Japierre, the United Workers' Party candidate for Labrie, and before her you also heard from Masson, Workers' Party candidate for Rosalie, and former MP Castries Central, Sarah Flood Bobra. Now, this is an individual and the Castries Central MP, Mr. Richard Frederick. This occurred earlier today outside of the island's parliament.
Target of verbal abuse on a popular weekday show, and all we're asking for is just your opinion on this matter. Mr. Frederick, hi, how are you? Actor?
God, have you ever seen that? Woman can tell me what they want. Look at what Middle has done. Once you respond, you attack.
No. That is. Wow.
Every Sunday night.
Mr. Frederick,
I don't talk to you. I don't like this.
It's fine. Have a nice day, sir. Let's go. Let's go.
Attack.
But it's so because it's rare for somebody's to be put out.
The example we use. Can you tell me?
Mr. Frederick, do you remember when somebody came on live and spoke about your
Exactly. Not to make peace with yourself, make peace with people, and make peace with. There is chemo for you. You have to do his bidding. What have I said?
But you just said chemo for out that she has.
Really? I put it out. She has.
You insinuated.
You only take chemo for cancer.
Okay, but you take it for medical reasons. Mr. Frederick, let's be fair. Media persons of late have become the target of verbal abuse on a popular weekday show, and asking for gentleman opinion on this matter. Mr. Frederick, hi, how? But I have.
But yes, I'm not talking to you. But yes, you ever see? That's not incessant. Right? Everything. We did it. Once you respect.
Oh, this, sir. Wow. Okay. Mr. Frederick.
I don't want to talk to you.
Let's go. Because it's really unfair for somebody's medical business to be put out.
Can you tell me the exact?
Mr. Frederick, do you remember came on live and spoke about your medical issue?
My exact words were, Claudius. Not because you need to make peace with yourself, make peace with people, and make peace with God. Not because she is in killing to his bidding.
But you know that she has cancer.
Really? I put it.
That's what you said. You insinuated.
You only take chemo for cancer.
Okay, but you take it for medical reasons. Mr. Frederick, let's be fair. Media persons have become the focus.
Between and the MP for Castries Central, and also the state is trying to get a reaction from the Speaker of the House, Mr. Claudius Francis, who did not respond. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. It says there the being sabotage. I don't know what it means. I think we had maybe some slight technical issue with regard to the clarity of that clip played earlier. Thing to do with the audio quality, the poor audio quality. Another person says there, why, Mr. Prime Minister, you gave some explanation on this ban. I think it's certainly wrong regarding the question directed to you. Another one says, this Prime Minister needs help. All the questions from Lisa are pertaining to national security, and the Prime Minister shaking my head. And another WhatsApp message. Tim, my question of the day, which minister holds the portfolio of Minister of Arrogance? And that is your question of the day, according to that WhatsApp message. Let's see. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Another WhatsApp message, somebody says there, oh my God, listening to this Prime Minister makes my head hurt, shaking my head. Another one says, Tim, I really don't know what happened to Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. He was someone I thought was pretty level-headed and sensible before he became Prime Minister. Someone needs to gift the Prime Minister a dictionary. All right, let's find out what's happening in the chat room. Let's hear from you, Amanda. Good afternoon to you. Regarding some of the comments in the chat room, what's happening?
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. Tim, a few comments from the chat room, and NewsSpinner says here, it is the responsibility of the sitting government to maintain law and order. A commentary reads, yup, we really need to keep our youth occupied. A NewsSpinner says our opportunities are there, but are they willing to take it up? A commentary says, you can't invest in someone who doesn't want to invest in themselves. Someone says the gangs have declared war amongst each other and the general public are in the line of fire. A commentary reads, there are opportunities for employment in St. Lucia, but young people do not want to work. Try getting a decent gardener or tradesman. Quapo, smoke your pipe. Everyone wants a job but doesn't want to work. They only want the instant gratification.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Yes.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, I'm actually out on a bit of a vacation, and I happened to just tune in to hear and to see this video with Richard Frederick and the reporter. Tim, there is a name that has been going around for Richard. El Qua. Me and give me a little bit of on your show, and I know that your show is a distinguished show, but Richard is not just El Quapo, he's a cochon of the worst order. Can you imagine, Tim? The reporter approached the speaker for a comment, and Richard completely came through in his normal Thursday night style, bullish, quapo, cochon style, and completely took over the comment. Never gave the Speaker of the House the dignity of a response. This speaks volumes. When the question is put and we say to the Prime Minister, he makes excuses for Richard to say that Richard is simply an independent, minister. He's not an independent minister. He is ruling the St. Lucia Labour Party and at the same time embarrassing the Prime Minister and the entire ministers sitting within Parliament. What you just showed on the screen speaks volumes. It is said that a picture speaks 1,000 words. I believe all of St. Lucia had an opportunity to see Richard in full natural display, cochon display. Now, he mentioned when the reporter asked him about the two women in particular that he vilified, denigrated, abused on his program last week, Thursday, which in particular would have been Mas Johnson and Lisa, distinguished reporter, one of the few critical thinkers we have in the cabinet briefing on a Monday morning, who the capability, the tenacity to put the real tough questions to the Prime Minister. He's completely sidelined the issue with respect to those two women, and he jumped onto Minerva. Minerva was never mentioned in his show on Thursday. The two women he mentioned and made reference to was Lisa and Marcella. And we are calling on the Prime Minister to come out of hiding and to denounce the statements of Richard Frederick, and for once and all to grow some balls, some testicular fortitude, and get Richard expelled from his cabinet. I feel very passionate about this, Tim. I feel very strongly about this, and I stand with all of the women, and it's not just Lisa and Marcella, but all of the other women that Richard vilifies and denigrates every Thursday evening on his toxic platform. It is time for Richard flushed out of our politics. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. I will tune in to listen to the rest of your program. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let's see if you have a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Yes.
I am calling because I am the person who was questioning Richard Frederick this morning.
Okay. So, ma'am, I don't really know you. My apologies. Are you a reporter?
I am. I used to work with Hot 7. My name is Eldridge Charles.
Okay. All right.
But I'm currently running an independent online platform, and I also do radio news.
Okay, ma'am.
So I am well known to Mr. Frederick and all of the other ministers because I've interviewed all of them before. Now, we're talking about Mr. Frederick, but there was a bigger issue that happened a few moments earlier. Unfortunately, we were not able to record it. So I was part of the protest, but my reason for being there is because as a media person, I find it very troubling that a media person, a renowned media person in the form of Miss Lisa Joseph, would be subject to that kind of attack from a sitting minister. And if we allow Mr. Frederick to get away with attacking Lisa for simply doing her job, who is he going to attack next? So I went down to the parliament and I waited while Minister Emma Hippolyte was being interviewed. I didn't want to jump in, and so I waited for her, and when she was done, I asked her if she was willing to make a statement on the issue. She agreed to make a statement, and when she asked me for my person, I said, well, they're outside. But at that exact moment, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre was being interviewed in the doorway. Now, you know what it is, Tim. You have experience. When you see a minister approaching, you have to take the opportunity to interview them where you can. Otherwise, they go into the parliament and they never come out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's standard practice. But I was stuck in the parliament. I could not leave to get my camera people. Minister of Tourism, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, came in and saw me standing there in my shoot. I said hi to him, and he came up to me and said, are you with the protesters outside? I said, yes. He said, what are you doing inside of him? And he placed his hand on the small of my back and pushed me and said, get out. Minister Norbert was interviewed in front of the flag, and the Prime Minister was being interviewed in the doorway. There was nowhere I could have gone. I was so shocked by this, and I said to him, Mr. Minister, why are you doing this? Why would you do this? I am a member of the media fraternity, you know me, and I am a citizen. And he said, oh, but you cannot be in here protesting. I said, I am not protesting. I was simply having a conversation with Minister Hippolyte, and then it would have been highly inappropriate for me to interrupt the Prime Minister's interview simply because I wanted to pass. So I was simply waiting. And he said, oh, you cannot be here, and all that kind of thing. It is a sad day, Tim, for reporters in Sydney. It is very sad. We already have one minister who is verbally abusing women, but for another minister to literally put his hand on me and push me, what is going on? What is going on? And I mean, is it okay just because the cameras didn't pick it up? What is going on, Tim? Have you ever, I know you are a long-standing journalist, have you ever been subject to that kind of thing?
Well, caller, on the heels of a general election, you will find that, those politicians definitely will lose their cool. And certainly, based on what you're saying, if it's true, that definitely is unacceptable, cannot be tolerated.
Exactly. I mean, I simply wanted to have the Minister for Commerce, as a woman, to make a statement. And she agreed. She said, although she says that she did not hear the comments herself, which is understandable because she's obviously occupied with her campaign, and she cannot be expected to keep up with everything. But just to make a statement saying that, okay, Marcella Johnson he has gone after, but Marcella is a political opponent. I don't agree with what he said, but she's a but Lisa was simply doing her job. She was simply asking questions. She didn't attack anyone. She was simply asking questions. And this I find is just beyond the pale. It is really, I mean, we have so many young people who will now not be interested in going into the media because of the behavior of these government ministers who are supposed to know better. So we have one government minister verbally abusing reporters, and now we have another one physically abusing them. Where are we in St. Lucia? Anyway, I just wanted to share my experience because I found this so shocking, and I cannot understand how Miss Dr. Healer would think that this was an appropriate way to behave. To physically put his hand on the small of my back and push me and say, get out. It's of Parliament. I am a citizen.
Thank you so much, Miss Charles, for calling the broadcast.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. You just heard there from Miss Eldridge Charles reporting on an experience she had with Event Minister earlier today. Some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We have another call on the landline, and then we'll have an update from Amanda King. We have a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Yeah, good day, sir. Good day, Mr. Poleon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I'm listening to your show, and in response to the lady who just called, and she asked, what do you think about the politician putting his hand on her? And you said that was unfortunate. But if I may ask,
but I also said, caller, it's unacceptable, huh?
Yes, understood.
And
but it's not an assault.
If it occurred the way she reported, yes, it is.
Yeah, because she was speaking, I'm saying that kind of board on the brink of assault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to know that, but I'm watching a show. Thanks, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. We have an update, Fanda. What's happening in the chat room?
Tim and NewsSpin says, you see, they're not getting fed up of killing innocent people, but they are fed up of the football. Another commentary reads, making excuses for killers. I grew up with candles. I know about holes and cloth blocking holes. I did not kill. You all are just lazy and entitled. So you all come and take. A commentary reads, so there was no K9 unit prior. Someone said most of us did not get it good. We struggled too. Most of us had single parents who did their best with us, and we did our best and helped our families. Commentary reads, maybe it's the word disband, and Lisa should have said dissolve. A commentary reads, okay, if you did not disband the K9 unit, what did you do? Somebody says here, the American culture of instant gratification and success has screwed up the psyche of our young people. A NewsSpinner says here, I think people are telling PJP what to say, and he without thinking and makes himself look stupid. Commentary reads, listening from the diaspora, and this is so painful watching and listening to St. Lucia's Prime Minister, my Prime Minister in 2025, specialize in order. A commentary reads, the French should have conducted an independent autopsy for Officer Tyson. Someone says Philippe had disbanded the K9 unit right after he became Prime Minister. For approximately 2 years, the pot was left wide open to all kinds of funny business. A commentary says, I agree, one woman's pain is all women's pain. Commentary reads, but look at the speaker smiling at Richard's disgusting behavior. A NewsSpinner says that's the attitude of putting people first. Can't even be humble to a person asking a question. It seems like it's because they put a woman. Someone says there's such reprehensible behavior by a minister of government. Commentary reads, shame on Richard Frederick. Nothing will be done because women are considered second-class citizens in post-slavery St. Lucia. On the other hand, I would like to congratulate women in St. Lucia for their achievements in the area of academia and professions. Men are endangered at the moment. Commentary says, Claudius is not the Speaker of the House. He is the noise for his political party. Why does this administration think that every time a question is posed to them, it's an attack on them, and they are always... All those laughing do not fall. Lucia has lots of men and women going through cancer and dialysis treatment, and they are not UWP supporters alone. A commentary reads that there are any HIPAA laws in St. Lucia. Someone's medical issues should not be made public unless the individual openly speaks about it. And a commentary reads, this has gotten to a critical point and Pierre needs to call the elections now. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Still to come, more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And somebody died recently, and this one took me by surprise. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. This month, La Clinique de Corps is offering a $50 discount on all doctor stations. Yes, only for this month, the month of August, La Clinique de Corps is offering a $50 discount on all doctor consultations. Visit them today and take advantage of this promotion. And please don't you miss out.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology, fast, radiation-free, insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
You know that feeling when you have uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you feel it throughout your body. Take control, all so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With visit even the let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Bidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Hey, Lucelec. Sherry here. I've been hearing all about my account and its features. Can you really do all that?
Absolutely, Sherry. I'm Taisha, by the way. My is your all-in-one power hub. You can check your bill. It's even emailed to you every month. Need a copy? You can download a PDF version anytime. You can manage multiple accounts and paying is a breeze. Use your card or opt for online bank payments. Thank you. Whatever suits you best. Keeping tabs on your energy use? You got it. Track your consumption, download payment records, and see how you stack up against previous months and others nearby.
Thanks for breaking it A1, Taisha.
You got it, Sherry. My account puts the power in your hands. Remember, it's your energy, your way.
in the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus day prizes and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I use because you didn't give me.
Tire shop only carry brand free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Shivi's tire. How do you know?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the old building.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your.
Located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Boutique. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Tire Shop. Drive more.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means first. Your home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first private home today. Heading to college, let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
The Republican Party got bigger. This roads lead to Darren Sammy Cricket Ground as the St. Lucia Kings light up the live from all every six, every wicket, every roar from the crowd. Or Carolyn. So grab your tickets now at cplt20.com or at your local box office. It's time to turn up for the biggest party in sport.
Optimum Events bring Radiance. The all-inclusive breakfast fed at Moncubarilla Estate in Soufriere.
Use the sugar. Now we are complete.
Radiance with band Hollywood HB, Darcy High, Lancelot, and Imran Dirty. Gourmet breakfast, sunrise sips. This is not your average Sunday. Early bird drops July 12, just $300. Regular $350. Tickets only. Sorry, no deals. Or on circlestickets.com. Non-stop vibes from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. Eons, August 24th at Montreal. Sponsored by Bounty Rum and JP Chenet.
Streaming live. Internet. Power979.com. This is Power 97.9.
We're just finished dinner, and before we all head off, let's do something very important. Let's go over hurricane prep list. We need food, water, medicine, important documents. What else? Right, the general. Ambers from Europa have my best price, and believe me, Daddy, the Wi-Fi is down. When it's out. Keep your family comfortable. Get your generator at Europa Hardware. Call us today at 4763 Europa, located in Massagley. Service, what we sell.
Lucelec wishes to advise customers and the public that its customer service office at the Carolick building in Sandy closed to facilitate urgent maintenance. The Lucelec Rodney Bay and Vienna offices are open to serve customers, and the kiosk in the Blue Coral Mall is available for all except customers who wish to make payments during this closure are encouraged to access the My Account service at my.lucelec.com. Show pays online and for participating financial institutions. It's made via SurePay and days from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Be processed to customer accounts the same day. Payments made after 4 processed the next day. For account balances, please dial the automated account inquiry service line at 444. Customers can access other Lucelec services by using the virtual service at .com. If regrets any inconvenience caused by this closure and thanks its valued customers for their patience and understanding.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National, we're here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest, and Mother Nature approved. Itself will thank you. Visit First National Bank for more information to help you green. Please, National Bank, here for you.
It's in the it's in our spot. It is the this sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what, keep things flowing. People, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrating. Come, let your rhythm flow.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait till it's too late. MNC Home Depot and Sunday, and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
This is the world's most monitored talk show where we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And if we have some updates still to come from Amanda. Let's take a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. NewsSpin, you on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yes. Tim, I would like to say that in part for the people to understand in English. Si on your jardin, on your farm, comme des mon van pour chaque produit, moi ba au van là. Commencer chayer pour d'ou bien. Mais ou commencer boire et ou ay croiser. Ou kay fier demander moi pour l'autre van encore et n'a pas oui. If you have a farm and you need your produce to be carried, I give you a new van. But you take the van, you go and drink from drunk. You drunk and you write off the vehicle. You're going to ask me for another van? And you expect me to give it to you? What I'm saying is that the K9 that was given to the government by the French, it was doing a lot of good work for the people. Getting drugs, getting guns and what have you. And for some reason, the dog mysteriously died. No explanation. And then you're going to come and ask the French government for another dog and you expect to get it? Now, the other question the other observation I've made now, on the 3rd of November, I met with the representative for Mikunov at a funeral at the Catholic Church. I think the funeral was for Mr. St. Catherine, better known as Akai. Around 4:20, he was there shaking people's hands. They were putting in the coffin and so on. So I approached him. I told him, Mr. Norbert, there is a coconut tree in the hairpin bend when you go into Monrepo by Peck, by Errol's place there. The coconut tree is leaning across the road, and if it falls, it can kill people. It can fall on a load of tourists and kill people. You know what he said to me? It was the 3rd of November last year. He said he's going there right now and check on it. And he rectified the problem. Up to now, the problem is there. Now, I want to put that, if the ministers are listening, the Minister of Infrastructure, also the Minister of Tourism, that coconut tree needs to cut as a matter of urgency. Anytime there is a disaster going to happen there, and that coconut tree can fall on a load of tourists or food and kill people there.
Well, Colin, why you specifically concerned about tourists?
It
can happen to residents of St. Lucia, nationals of St. Lucia.
Residents, but they are more concerned about tourists, because concerned about industry. So that is why I'm putting it to them so that they can deal with. They're not too concerned about the locals. They are more concerned about the tourists. So that is why I'm putting it to the Minister of Tourism. Look into it. And if you look at the root of the tree, rubbish has been burned there and the root has been compromised. Rainy season. Anytime that can fall, God forbid, while a vehicle is passing and kill people. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Hope your plea will not be falling on deaf ears. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. We have a call, and that's Pato via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother, and good afternoon, Armando.
Good afternoon to you, Pato.
Good afternoon, Cora.
Yeah, this is it. I'm often, man.
Yes, man.
Yeah, tell you, before election and after, that is two different things, brother. Don't matter, people you see that cleaning drain, that want to get in position, then cemetery mixing cement and doing all sorts of those things. I'm not saying it's not good at the time, but it's after election, in what is happening, if you see those same people doing those things, okay? I'm taking that, using that to all for election. I was hearing that lady, Catherine Silis, standing and talking, raise your voice for women. And now, you not hear not a word, not a whisper. Stop a hypocrite. Today you ended abusing women, all sorts of things. And before you were standing for them today, you are not saying anything. Okay? Now I'm saying again, no kind of women should never go and vote for Richard Frederick. No kind of women, not even his mother that died already. No women should not be voting for him. And I'm happy the way Lisa handled the Prime Minister with the question nice and easy, coming with the hard question and have him to papi show himself. Papi showing himself. You are talking about a question, asking him a question about if there were dogs before, he will have to ask chef police or whosoever. You came in there, do not know if they had dogs or not. Huh? No. These things are really going too far. And the Prime Minister, I was thinking that as if we are moo. We don't know what is happening. If you can be there with us, things we know, and you are not telling us the truth, how about when you go over in all sorts of different things in CIP, all sorts of things, and then you come back to tell us what you want? How can we believe you? How can we believe you? Tim, I'll leave it there as that.
Okay, Patu, thank you so much. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon again, Tim. Tim, a few comments from earlier NewsSpin says, hence why you should have body cameras from now on, or just hidden cameras. Yeah. A commentary is, it doesn't matter what area. No one should be able to speak about in this manner. Stop trying to make it right, and neither way it's wrong. NewsSpin says that's what they want to do, silence and scare the people, and there are some supporters siding with them. The way life is, they soon get their share. Toe. A commentary reads, caller, what are you going to do about it? If you do not take the necessary steps, he's going to continue to do it. Someone says the gangs have declared. Okay, I read that. No, I haven't. Someone says but since when Mr. Ernest Hiller is a policeman or part of the security for the parliament, couldn't he have called on the officers to have the lady removed? A commentary reads, Angie, I urge you to make an assault report against Hiller today. Get the clip of the interaction at the lobby. And NewsSpin says, do elected officials work for the people or the people work for them? Because there are people supporting fear. Shake my head. Another commentary reads, those who approve wrongdoings are worse than those who commit them. Commentary says, that's where the fraternity of the reporters should step in and support each other, so what happens there cannot ever repeat itself again. Someone says, an incumbent is losing the support of the masses when they start to get aggressive with members of the public and try to take the law into their own hands. That alleged behavior by Dr. Healy was highly inappropriate and a clear indication of a drowning man catching at a straw. A commentary reads, the only time crime will not be politicized is when there are no criminals in politics. And a commentary says, team, I applaud the women who were in town this morning, making their voices heard about RF, very inappropriate behavior, on his talk show as a government minister. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages. 716-2026, again, 716-2026. Let me go through some of your WhatsApp messages. What are you saying? Tim, that's my point we are missing. Lisa did not attack Richard. He attacked Lisa because she asked the Prime Minister questions. He said, oh, people attacking me. We have a call. Let's take that call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. I'm okay. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
There's sometimes, I listen to NewsSpin, and, I sometimes don't want to call. But I call because I'm of the notion that if you do nothing, and if you say nothing, then you're just part of the problem. And that is what I want to say to the people of St. Lucia. Sometimes we blame the ministers, but at the end of the day, we, the voters, are part of the problem. The ministers are there running their own mandates. The people of St. Lucia elected them, but they run their own mandates. Richard Frederick is Richard Frederick. He is not a minister until he's doing what we have placed him there to do. And we need to take away that minister portfolio that we like to slap on people. Because the minister is an ordinary man. It's just that they voted, and we put him there, and he was supposed to represent. He was supposed to be some sort of a different character to take what we, as a people, are not able to a different level. But the fact is, he is not doing that. He is representing what we do not want. And as a people of St. Lucia, we need to make sense out of ourselves Be respectful as a nation. Be respectful as women. This thing about party politics is what is really ruining the whole political landscape of St. Lucia. I don't care what party you vote for. Wrong is wrong. Disrespect is disrespect. We need to be able to run our country like this. It is not perfect, but we have to take a position. We have to take a stand. We have to say no. Because remember, we have our young people who are looking up to us today. How do we say no to crime when crime is happening where in our parliament? Not because somebody didn't die, not because somebody wasn't hurt, that is not a crime. It doesn't matter how small it is. If it's wrong, if it's tampering on somebody's physical body, if it's going against the person's humanity, then it is crime. It is criminal. So how do we say no to crime when the very ministers that we have elected, they have that portfolio around them? And yet we will elect them on the basis that they can give money to the community. They have done this for me. They have done this for my mother, and they sponsor me, adopt, and I'm chanting behind them. Because that is what we are asking for. Anytime there is double standards, then you can get nothing out of it. No matter how many persons are coming to what Richard said, you see, at the end of the day, St. Lucians are of the notion, and we St. Lucians are of the notion, that if it doesn't affect me directly, it's not my problem. But let me tell you something, it is your problem because you live in St. Lucia. Even if it doesn't happen at your home, it happens to your neighbor, it is your problem. Because one day, it comes in your doorstep. And that is why we have to take this thing very seriously. Those persons who are ready to vote and who are voting party need to stop. We need to vote character. We need to vote clean, perfect representation. We need to vote clean representation. We need people with a vision. Not everybody has a vision. Not because you're popular and you're buying money, you have a vision. You need to have a political vision for my country, for my children. I see that disrespect happening among the parliament. Do you think that this is what I want to represent my children? Do you think that's what it is? Really, that's not. It cannot be that. We nation need to understand we need to have a cleaner, a more respectful vision for St. Lucia. We need to do that because if we don't do that, everything that is happening here will continue. And why you think crime is so rampant? Because it has to be at the helm. It has to be first in the homes of the people who think that it doesn't affect them. It affects you. Even if you're not voting today, even if you're not voting tomorrow, even if you're not voting, it affects you. Okay? Once you live in St. Lucia, you have a responsibility to your nation. Because we are gregarious people, meaning that we function in groups. So those persons who think that you can pull yourself out and say, it's not me, it's not my party, no. Because at the end of the day, we are a people. We function together as a community. We function together as a nation. And unless we do not put particular principles of respect, order, and what is acceptable and what is not, we're not going to see any clarity in what's happening in St. Lucia. Others need structure. And you are calling them ministers, but let me call them the men that we have. They need structure. The women need structure as well. Because you take somebody out of their home and you send them to represent you, that person already has his idiosyncrasies. That person already has, he's predisposed to so many things. But guess what? The reason he's not going to come there and do what he's predisposed to doing, the reason he's not going to come here and let down and put his idiosyncrasies on us is because there are particular sets of rules and principles that govern his behavior. And it's the same thing in our workplaces, you know. People want to leave their home. They want to leave their home and be the same person they are at home, at their workplace. It cannot work. That is why we need principles, we need sort of modus operandi to run the people of the country, to run our ministers. Richard Frederick, you can behave that way when you're at your bar with your friends. You can behave when you're in the confines of your house. You can behave that way when you're doing all of your private and even your public things with your friends. But when you are sitting in the Parliament of St. Lucia, that I elected you to sit in to represent me, do that. And these are the type of things we have to say to them. I don't care who you are. I am the one who voted for you. And I say the people of St. Lucia, you are representing me, so therefore you cannot behave like that. In fact, not cannot, you should not behave like that. And these are the type of stances you need to take as the people of St. Lucia. St. Lucia, and stop that party politics. Run with principle. Think of your children. Think of the nation. Think of clean and proper representation. Remember, these are people. They're only politicians when they are representing us. If they're not representing us, then they're not we put there. Stop treating them like they're honorable when they're not honorable until the honorable deed in representing us. So it's not Honorable Richard Frederick. He needs to understand that he has, if he's going to be in the Parliament of St. Lucia, he needs to change his suits. We are not going to stand for that. We're not going to stand for a lot of them who are coming there to represent us. They're representing themselves at their home. You now in the Parliament of St. Lucia, you need to put on that Parliament suit. You hear me, Tim?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. And still to come, we'll have another update from Amanda. So please stand by for that. We have a call for WhatsApp. Let's say good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Timothy. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. That's Mr. Josie?
It is.
Yes. Good, sir.
Yeah, you notice I have avoided calling you or anybody else for a little while.
Yes.
Last weekend, I ran into a meeting, indoor meeting, the United Workers' Party frontline people. My understanding is there was supposed to have been a public meeting, but because of the violence in the city, the party decided they should not have that meeting, but instead have an indoor meeting. I was in the area, in the Rodney Bay area, when I saw the crowd of people and things, so I decided to walk inside and see what was going on. I was very impressed with the level of discussion that was taking place. I happened to meet some of the new candidates for the first time, and I have to say that I feel very comfortable now that the UWP is in a good place to challenge this government. And one of the things I noticed is that Alan Shah had made us recently, as recently as last week, talking about they will not take it anymore. It is time, and they have tolerated the. He prayed for months to hear Alan Shastri, the leader of the UWP, speak that kind of language. Not a language of violence, but we have had enough. St. Lucians have had enough. These elections to be called, and for us to get a government that is democratic, that is prepared to take care of the people. And as fate would have it, Timothy, I had to be in Castries an urgent. I had no that, but I had to leave High Street and go across to Republic Bank to note the commotion taking place in front of government buildings. And I decided, you see, out of that, I don't want to face there because I'm not. I got back in my vehicle, put on my radio, I realized that the women of the UWP stand to protest the kind of nonsense Richard Frederick, a man who should know better has been staying on women left, right, and center. And it was time to stand. In a way, I was unhappy that I didn't have the time to spend. If I had known that, I would have shown my face. I want people to know, that is the kind of thing I stand against. I know Richard a long time, and I've said so ad infinitum. But, I'm as disappointed more than him because of the way he started. I've been a better man and a better politician. Unfortunately, he has not turned out to be the kind of person I expected him to be. So I was very happy, and I want to say to the women of St. Lucia and the women of the UWP, unless you stand up, take a stand, not your father sometimes and not you have to begin to stand on your own, united in protest and to take action, appropriate action. And I wanted to make that statement that I believe between last went to that place to have that to witness the meeting, the indoor meeting, and today what I saw in front of the House of Assembly has been more than ever before that the people of the UWP, and I've said I've done my time. I don't want to come and interfere with any young person who is campaigning and things so. But I've made my statement and my position clear. And the UWP needs assistance meetings. I don't care where it is. If you're sure people to speak, call me and I'll be ready to come. Always ready to speak on behalf of my country, right? And I wanted to make that statement very clear. I made a stand. And what is interesting, the women and the people who were there on Saturday night or even before that understood exactly what they were saying. And all hands are on deck now. And that is the UWP I wanted. So I'm calling to congratulate Alan Shastney and the UWP for finally taking a stand. People know what. Don't let people write roughshod over nobody to be in power. I mean, what right has Hillary push it from the small of her back?
If that actually happened the way she reported, eh?
Well, I'll tell you something. There's one I think I would have said, given a chance to say it. In politics, Timothy, there's something common events cast their shadow before them. And from my experience, and I know from you too, but you will not want to speak, the things that Hillary has done becoming a minister of this government, what report, and we're not even talking finance yet. I could be spared.
We could only act on the basis of the evidence and what we know to Josie. So don't malign anybody without having the evidence to prove it, because we know what season we are in, and very little to be careful, sir. All right. So I will not even venture the path you wanted to.
I take it, and I you timely thing because you're never too old to learn. And I know that they would say and do anything, to try to stay in power. So I take your point.
All right, sir.
I take your point.
You're saying?
I just hope that this young lady feels that she has in the law. That is the main point. She has recorded law. Sure. Do something about, as you said, if it actually. So I just want to say how happy I am to see that the UWP is finally looking like they're ready to form the next government. And I'm very excited about that, and give the radio a chance. I'll give you a chance to use the radio.
All
I
right.
prefer to be in the public, making my public statements on the platform when the time comes.
All
Okay?
right. Thank you so much. Just heard there from Mr. Peter Josie. The most talk show in the world, it is NewsSpin. Still to come, a special.
Yes, Lucian, top 5 for Carnival 5. Yes, welcome back to Real Men Take Charge, guys. Real Men, check up.
To all my listeners out there, visit a men's health clinic in your area today.
PSA checkups are now free.
It's private, it's quick, it's efficient, and convenient.
Music touches the soul, but health keeps the rhythm going. Fellas, it's time to check your PSA levels. It's free, it's simple, it can save your life.
Brothers, do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit? Let us be wise lives. Prostate test saves lives. Let us not wait until it is too late.
To be a champion, you need to show up for yourself. I'm encouraging every man to take the step. Get checked. Stay strong. Do it for the team. Do it for your family.
Daddy is a hero, and I want him around for a very long time. Daddy, if you care about me, please take care of your health.
Face colon and prostate cancer head on, and I'm still standing. Early detection saved my life. If I can do it, so can you. Don't wait. Get tested. It's free, it's simple, and it will definitely save your life also.
Real men.
Real men.
Real men take charge.
Real men check up.
That's gone for 6. The Republic Bank CPL is here, and the biggest party in sport just this August. All roads lead to Darren Sammy Cricket Ground as the St. Lucia Kings light up the island with 5 explosive home August 3rd to 31st. Every 6, every wicket, everywhere from the crowd, shot of pure Caribbean adrenaline. So grab your tickets now at cplt20.com or at your local box office. It's time to turn up for the biggest party in sport.
Lucelec wishes to advise customers and the public that its customer service office at the Carolec building in Sans Souci remains closed to facilitate urgent maintenance. The Lucelec Rodney Bay and Vieux-Fort offices are open to serve customers, and the kiosk in the Blue Coral Mall is available for all services except payments. Customers who wish to make payments during this closure are encouraged to access the My Account service at account.lucelec.com. Show pays online and walk-in service options, or participant financial institutions. Payments made via SurePay and My Direct days from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. will be processed to customer accounts the same day. Payment made after 4 p.m. will be processed the next business day. For account balances, please dial the automated account inquiry service line at 457-4433. Customers can access other Lucelec services by using the virtual service desk at lucelec.com. The management of Lucelec deeply regrets any inconvenience caused by this closure and thanks its valued customers for their patience and understanding.
We've just finished dinner, and before we all head off, let's do something very important. Let's go over our hurricane prep list. We need food, water, medicine, important documents. What else? Right! The generator. This year, I'm not taking any chances. I'm getting ours from Europa in Massad Grocery. Best prices around. And believe me, I don't want to hear, Daddy, the Wi-Fi's down when the power's out. Keep your family cool. Get your generator at Europa. Call us today at 452-0763. Europa, located in Massad Grocery. We service what we sell.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of prevention. From generators to fluid, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
The award is a promotional step. It is not the end. It is a promotional step for further progress. Nobody wants to see somebody getting an award and the person disappearing into oblivion thereafter.
And that was Mr. Mario St. Rose speaking some 6 years ago, as he was a judge of a St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce Awards exercise. Unfortunately, I just heard over the weekend that Mr. Mario St. Rose passed away on the 12th of August. That was shocking news to me. He's a former managing director of the Bank of St. Lucia. I had the opportunity to interview him on several occasions, including at least twice on the DBS program Newsmaker Live. He is also a former vice president of the not the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, but the Caribbean Development Bank, serving as the vice president of the CDB. And he joined the CDB in 1975 as an economist. So we just have an overlay again of Mr. Mario St. Rose. Those of you who don't know him, that's Mr. Mario St. Rose there. He passed away on the 12th of August 2025 after serving many years at the Caribbean Development Bank and later at the Bank of St. Lucia. So condolences again to the family, friends of Mr. Mario St. Rose, who passed away on the 12th of August. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, why increase police patrols in the city after the fact? Why increase police patrols in the city after the fact? Still, we have the NewsSpin news of the day, but we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
And good afternoon to the listeners and viewers. Tim, at the Parliament today, I noticed that motions and the bill down for consideration. It includes visa exemptions agreements between the government of St. Lucia and the governments of Indonesia, Georgia, Serbia, Brazil, and India. Now, I've had some discussions this morning with some of my friends, and one has to ask the question, what is the true motive of the government, especially the minister responsible for foreign investment, in making such a move at this time? It is not like we have a lot of tons of St. Lucians queuing up for visas to those countries. So what is the real motive, one has to ask? Now, I will take a page from the Prime Minister's book, and I will speculate, because he had planted that thing in my head. And one has to ask, is it to allow certain ministers and their associates easy access to those countries so that they go and check on their bank accounts? Or is it to give the new Citizen by Investment Program passport holders and their friends access to St. Lucia so that they could come and sit here for a few weeks and to vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party in the upcoming general elections? We have to ask those questions, because these are not countries that traditionally St. Lucia would have had no relations with. And it is not lost on me also, Tim, that these countries, some of them, are aligned to the whole BRICS monetary system. So I am speculating again. What is the true motive of the government in tabling those motions on visa exemptions for those countries? That's my contribution for today.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if you have a call on the landline. Hello, good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, what we saw based in the parliament today, the incident that the reporter called on, insofar as what I could call the blatant assault by a government minister, Ernest Ile, if what the young lady said is true, the reporter should not be taken lightly. It cannot be right that the reporter, based on what she said, was trying to get an interview from Minister Emma Hippolyte, and Minister Emma Hippolyte agreed to the interview. And for another government minister in the life of Ernest Ile to just come and try to abuse both verbally and physically a reporter, already like...
Okay, well, that remains an allegation. Let's be extremely careful, okay? Because we can write and say anything on social media, but not on a program of this nature. Let's be extremely careful, sir. Yeah?
I'm being very careful. That's
All
why
right.
I keep saying I'm being careful, Tim. That's why I say it's true based on the reporter. And I'm just saying if it's true. That already we have, which is a factual one, very factual, that we have another sitting minister, Richard Frederick, abusing women in the most violent, vicious way. It seems to be a trend of this current Labour Party administration to go after women, whether physical or verbal. That cannot be right. And where is Tim? Is there a media association? Are you aware if there's an
No, we don't have an active media association, sir.
Right. So in the absence of a comatose media association, this current administration, this Labour administration, feels they can abuse the media in the most vile way, and there's no action. If that Ernest Ile physically assaulted her, take some action. Go to the police, make a report, file an assault report, because if that is true, that cannot be right, and that should not be tolerated by any right-thinking St. Lucian. Have a blessed day, Tim.
All right. Thank you so much. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And somebody is cautioning me, telling me that, Tim, the reporter said it, not you. But if I allow this to continue, where people are just leveling a claim that it's not an allegation but a claim against the government minister, and I facilitate it, then I, as the broadcaster, can be taken to task. So that's why I'm being extremely careful. Please try to understand the environment that we are operating in. Understand the season that we are in as well. Let us not be naive about life in St. Lucia. We just do not want to cast aspersion. We do not want to besmirch the character of anyone. This is not some roadside discussion that people are having, or you're having a discussion in a bar when you can say anything about any individual. This, you must remember, is the most monitored in the world, and we have to be extremely careful. We have to act in a very responsible manner as well. What is happening in the chat room? And then we'll take at least one final call and turn our attention to our NewsSpin news of the day. Amanda.
See a few comments on NewsSpin. It says a member of the public cannot report a government minister to the police or justice department because it will be like reporting them to themselves. This is what our democracy and rights has become. Commentary: what is wrong and right depends on which political party does it. And NewsSpinner says here, my lady, it's true as much as we say we do not vote PJP, in the fact that we're not doing what has to be done to remove him, our problem as citizens of St. Lucia. Another commentary reads, caller, let them help RF in his disrespect until he disrespects them. Someone says, our lady, you saying it right. Think, character, respect, and value. A commentary reads, St. Lucians have to see to it that Richard never sits in this parliament again with his disgusting behavior. A NewsSpinner says their Prime Minister says he has no problem with Richard, and the whole of St. Lucia does. Another commentary reads, I stand with the women of St. Lucia against any form of bullying. A commentary reads, to me, NewsSpin is incomplete with a call from Rick Wayne, especially when things are so tense. Someone says there's sometimes we must never chop the hand that feeds us. Being in the wilderness for years and through the good and bad efforts of a hand are being fed today. Would you have the gonads to tell the hand that is feeding you today you are wrong? So please understand the position of the Prime Minister. He is presently enjoying the frills and thrills of good living the life he thought would only be in a dream. Allow the Prime Minister to wallow in his fantasies, but remember, a fairy tale life is not forever. Please someone start to counsel him now, reminding him that nothing lasts forever. And a commentary says, Team, you mean to tell me that the man died on August 12th and today is the 19th, and only on NewsSpin I am hearing this? Sometimes I ask myself, was it worth it getting all those chairmanship of various organizations, being in the limelight, chasing dreams and aspirations, only to be a non-entity when death comes? Just my thinking. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We have a WhatsApp message. Tim, for quite some time, we have heard various persons as well as victims speak out about the despicable and unacceptable behavior of the host of a Thursday night talk show, who also happens to be an MP. The issue here, in my view, is the failure of our government and society to uphold the principle of good governance. After one takes the oath of office on a Bible to uphold the Constitution and become a minister of government, he or she should not be allowed to host a talk show, particularly a partisan show, such as being done by Mr. Frederick and the Speaker of the House, which attacks and demeans members of the public simply because they support a different party or hold a different political view. Minister Frederick is in violation of these basic principles of good conduct, and sadly, the wider public and civil society organizations, as well as the Media Association, are all disturbingly quiet about this abhorrent behavior. The Constitution and Bill of Rights give all citizens the freedom of association and of expression. The minister, as a public servant, is abusing his privileged position and access to information to pursue his diabolic, hate-driven agenda. We need to stop this and call upon our Prime Minister to act by amending our Information and Broadcasting Act to ensure that this kind of reprehensible and declassy behavior is not allowed to continue. It is these kind of institutional and regulatory failures that cause us to be called a banana republic. No more attacks on the citizenry by their representatives. This is another major wrong which we must make right. We take a final call on the landline. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, my brother Timmy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, Golden Dragon. People's Progressive Movement. Timmy, I've been trying my best to contact this gentleman you had on your show. Guy from States, former, I guess some kind of a police official in the States. He wants to run for answer. I think his name is Mr. Springer. What's his name again?
No, Mr. St. Rose.
Mr. St. Rose. And I can't get this guy. I would love that guy to run and see if he can seat for
okay,
the Progressive Movement.
Try and get his number and call him and have a private discussion with him.
But can I contact you off air and get the number from you?
I don't think I have his number, sir. But try to get his number.
Okay, all right, let's move on. Timmy, the biggest problem we have in our country today is crime. Right, Timmy? Crime is our biggest problem.
Yes, sir.
And this can destroy the entire fabric of St. Lucia. And I told you, Timmy, and you may not have agree with me, but this thing was coming a long time. When we allow our young people to spend the time smoking the gun, playing the dominoes all day, and at the time, they're looking to see where they can get to open and steal to take care of their girlfriend and their children, because they have children, because they are having a little sex with their little girlfriend, and boom, baby, right? So they have one, two little girls. Another guy was about 21, he has 4 children, he ain't working, but you know, I give him a little $50 now and then. But you see, we allow our kids to fall through the cracks of the education. You know, if I had a chance, there are a number of organizations we could open in St. Louis, from the guides and the brownies and scouts and cadets, number of organizations we could open, youth organizations. And I want to praise this man, Dr. King. Dr. King, the former pathologist. This man is doing a lot of work, you know, a lot of work with the children, the young people down the fort. He's doing a lot of work with another guy they call, it's a Priest Silash, I think his name is Priest Silash. These guys are doing a lot of work, you know. And to me, we need to find ways to create these kind of organizations that can bring our youth on board, teach them all kind of skills in carpentry, masonry, you know, plumbing, auto mechanics, computer repairs. We have to train. See, like our famous gentleman, Dr. Arthur Lewis. Arthur Lewis said that the key to success, richness, is education. Once your mind is educated and liberated, the wisdom and the intellect to do anything, successful and happy. So we have to find a way. And so John said, "Great resided into the youth." You know, we have a gentleman here, Honorable Philip JPA, who said he's going to have a youth economy, but the youth economy is only for a few, and most of the few are those who have interest in the Labour Party. And I must say that we in the center, a Prime Minister who will go the weakest Prime Minister in the history. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Let's turn our attention now to our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, MP commits suicide in Finnish Parliament. MP commits suicide in Parliament. Well, as a broadcast, for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.